today's video, we're going to talk about 3 top tips for injured players. So when you're injured and you're not working with an elite football club, it can be hard to know what to do. So I'm going to give you 3 tips to make sure your transition back to play or your return to play is as smooth as possible. So first tip is on conditioning. So if you're injured for more than 2 weeks, you need to do a lot of conditioning work. Okay, so if you can't run because of your injury, you need to find out, can you bike, can you swim, can you row, can you do the ski erg, can you do the assault bike, okay, can you do the battle ropes? You need to find out ways to do conditioning work. Okay, so that's the first thing. So find your conditioning method. Second thing, what type of conditioning are you doing? So you need to do aerobic conditioning and you need to do anaerobic conditioning. Okay, so that if you're out for a long time, at the start, initially you will focus on aerobic conditioning, and then the closer you get to return to play, you will work on your anaerobic systems. If you're only out for, say, 6 weeks, then it will be a mix between the both, okay? Try and match your team schedule. So if your team trains for an hour and a half, 3 times a week, okay, and they usually have a mix of high intensity training with low intensity, higher volume training, then you need to match that. So that might be in your bike sessions. One session might be an endurance session where you do longer blocks, say 4 times 8 minutes of work, and then another session might be 6 times 2 minutes of higher intensity work. Okay, so you're matching what the team are doing when it comes to volume and when it comes to intensity. Okay, and make sure when you're doing that you're wearing a heart rate monitor. Okay, so you know which zones you can train in. So this is just an easy way to measure your load when you're injured. So that's the first thing, is conditioning, and this is so important for when you come back, because when you come back, the stimulus of running and being on the pitch will be very new to you, and it will take your body a long time to recover. So you want to be in the best position to recover. So that's why having a really strong aerobic system can help do that. The second tip is your strength training. Okay, so when you're injured, and a lot of times, say if you pull your hamstring, players will just completely stop doing strength training because they think the muscle needs to relax and needs to recover. Optimal loading is what the muscle needs. Okay, so in the initial phase, yes, it might need some rest, but after a period of time, you need to start loading the muscle back up so it can get stronger again. Okay, because if a muscle tears, then we need to build the muscle back up to almost a stronger position than where it was when it tore. Because why did it tear? Was it not strong enough? Was it overloaded? One of these things. So address the weakness that was there and try and fix it. Okay, use this time also to focus on something maybe that you wouldn't be able to do, like when you're training all the time. So that might be doing more lower body training, working on your strength work, doing more heavy strength work, obviously if the injury allows, so that you can come back a more rounded athlete. So focus on your strength work. Make sure the muscle group or the injury you have, that you come back stronger in that area, that you don't just come back when the injury has cleared, because then you're still weak in that area and the likelihood of you getting re-injured is extremely high. And the third tip would be around your nutrition and your sleep. Okay, so when you're injured, a lot of times maybe you think you don't need to eat as much, or you don't need to sleep as well, or etc. Of course, you need to keep your protein high, because when the muscle is injured or you have an injury, the muscle needs to rebuild. Okay, so we need to have a higher rate of protein synthesis. So make sure you're increasing your protein intake almost. And then if you're also doing, like I said, with conditioning work, and you're training similar to what your team are training, then keep your nutrition similar, the same. Yes, you can adjust the carbohydrates and calories a little bit, but if you completely reduce the carbohydrates and completely reduce your calories because you want to lose weight in this period, you might just end up losing muscle and hindering the recovery process. Okay, so if you're injured, make sure you eat well and you have a really good nutrition process, and then you're also sleeping really well. So sleep will boost your recovery. So if you're only sleeping 6-7 hours a night, then you're not giving yourself the best chance and the body the best chance to recover. Growth hormone is secreted in your sleep, and that's when it's the highest amount of it is secreted. So the more sleep that you can get in this period, the quicker you're going to recover from your injury. Okay, so a really short video today. 3 tips for injured players. Make sure you're doing a lot of conditioning work so that when you come back, you're ready to play again, or you're ready to train again. Make sure you're doing your strength training, other muscle groups, work around the injury, and make sure the injury comes back stronger than it was before. And number 3, make sure your nutrition is on point so that you recover better, and that your sleeping is on point so that you are ready and able to recover from the training. Drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you think this was helpful.